And welcome everyone to Friday's card here at Laurel, December 13th. And the track is fast, a great day for racing in Maryland for the winter meet. Keith Fustel and Mackenzie Pfeiffer joining you here to go ahead and take a look. We start things off in race one with our early pick five in this lifetime claiming 30,000 for 3-year-olds and up, or non-winners of 3. Really, really exciting race card that we get into. Scratch in the number 2 and the 8. Early pick 5, and you kick things off with a video spotlight on your top selection here. Number 4, Paco the Taco Man.
Yeah, we're going to start things off. This 9-race card on Friday the 13th. Hopefully we can make it a lucky Friday the 13th. We're getting close to Christmas. We got to get the Christmas money, Mackenzie. Hopefully we can get it started here in the opener. We're going to look at this race, Paco the Taco Man. This condition, 3 in life or 3-year-olds, and you've got the 3-year-olds that have won a lot of races here. Paco the Taco Man is just in very, very good form for Annette Eubanks. Paco the Taco Man tracked this day, a very quick pace, went on with it, something in reserve. We're going back out to 7 furlongs today, which is something he's definitely accustomed to. He's run well at 7 furlongs. We saw it a couple races back on Maryland Million Day. I think he and Buck and Dreamer, these 3-year-olds, Buck and Dreamer's also, he's won 3 races. They have very adaptable styles to the flow, and I think a little and a lot is going to go ahead and get aggressive in here. But Paco the Taco Man, sitting that trip along with Buck and Dreamer, they have those styles that they're going to stalk. I think they're going to apply a little bit more pressure. A little and a lot, I think he's going to get more pressure. Well, he gets a little help today with the scratch of Prince of Iron. But I do think Paco and Buck and Dreamer put that pressure on a little bit soon. He got away and was able to dictate against a softer field to this 6-horse for Ness. But I'm going to give a slight edge to the Paco Taco Man. What do you think about Buck and Dreamer here? Pretty, holding pretty good dirt form for Joanne Schenkel.
Absolutely. Transferred that back really well last time, going the 3/4. We're pretty well aligned in our exacta here. Mm-hmm. I ultimately think Paco the Taco Man gets a little bit more close on him here today coming through the stretch. But, he's been versatile enough, I think, inside or outside. Buck and Dreamer is a horse who you can play around with. And so Thais has plenty of opportunities in here to make that set up really nicely for them.
Exactly. A shorter field. We've got a couple scratches with the 2 and the 8. And Buck and Dreamer last time got away a little bit awkward, but had that speed to get up into contention. I think Full Irish will point to him maybe just a little bit better. That speed carried that particular afternoon going 6, but I think 7 furlongs. It's the initial try going 7. But Buck and Dreamer, looking at his style, he was really grinding it out late against maybe a little bit better field. So I'm 4-1-5-7. We agree here. Looking for a little price, maybe the 5-3 Captains. I thought this horse would fire a little bit better from the back of the pack. But as we talked about, in that race on November the 15th, along with Buck and Dreamer, that speed kind of carried. He's going to need a little help, but I think Hammy here turning back, going back out to 7, has got a shot. That might be a little bit better distance for the 5-3 Captains.
Right. I land my little bit of value here in the 6, a little and a lot. Mm-hmm. This is one who last time out going the 7/8 was able to carry. I take a little bit away over a muddy track. I thought, we'll see if that comes back here on the main track today. But, trying to find a little bit of value.
Yeah.
Jamie Ness is sometimes a little tough to find value with, though.
And what the other day when I took off Sunday, I think he had 3 or 4 today. So he was rolling back along. But let's go to the second. Right.
Race 2 gets us into your early pick 4 here, a maiden claiming 30,000 for the 2-year-olds. You put together a ticket. Walk us through here.
Yeah, I think we've got some pretty contentious fields all the way through the card. I don't have a stone cold single. A little value here in race 2 with the 1 Veneta, 1 and 5. There's Ness at you with Techt, who will be a short price. We go 2 deep in race 3 with the 4 and the 7. Win No Joke. Tic Tac Daddy, interesting getting back to the main track. We'll talk about that one. Race 4, spread race for me. Price would be Wacolia Lady, the 2, but I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 6 in race number 4. We'll wrap it up in race 5 with 3 deep, 1, 5, and 6. Stick with the colors. She scratched the other day. Going to go here. First time tag is going to need a great break because there's some other pace to maybe press her. I'm going to look at some horses to make her run from off the pace as well in there with the 5 Concrete Face and the 6 Graceful Rose for an early pick 4 ticket costing $24.
Yes, well, and starting here, your top selection being the number 5 in Techt. again, we talk about value with Jamie Ness, not getting it here 7-5 on the morning line, but we both land on this one, and decent enough. You must feel pretty confident we put together a spotlight here as well.
Yeah, we're going to show this video, and this is a really, really gutsy debut for Tetched. Bigger field, going that mile. You've got Brittany Russell there, and these two hook up. Her horse was Lightning Boss to the inside, Tetched to the outer portion of the racetrack in the blue. But what a horse race this was. From about mid-turn all the way to the wire, Tetched had a short lead in mid-stretch. Lightning Boss just a little too good. I tell you, what a great race this one was. And there's 7 lengths clear of the next. Now, I'm looking to this race. We're going to go out to 2 turns today for Tetched. I don't think it's going to matter. I like how he has that mile race under his belt. And to me, he looks like if he wants to go ahead and stalk and take a little bit further back, he doesn't quite have, he can in this race. Because Venito, I think, is going to be quick from the inside. And Top Blood, the other Corrales horse, the 6, wants to be forward. And you could also toss Latin Rebel into the mix. So I think the flow is going to be okay. I look for Tetched to take a little bit further back because those internals 23, 48 change, not as demanding as Veneto's or Top Blood's most recent races and Latin Rebels.
I absolutely agree. I think this is a horse who's going to be really, really comfortable. When you see a horse debut like that and have all the confidence to really go down and put some pressure on the way he did, it just, to me, felt like this was a horse who was outstrided through the stretch, and I just couldn't knock. So
you've got a price in here in the 3, Latin Rebel, who I think is going to offer some value. 32-1, 55-1 in both starts. But now off the 2 sprints, stretching out. Are you seeing maybe be aggressive from that inner post and go off of those internals, 22 and change, 45 and 4?
I really just go, this is one who's out of an unraced mare, but the Grand Dam, Miss Savannah Rose, was a really versatile runner. She picked up a stakes win on the dirt for me. I just kind of had to have a little bit of curiosity whether or not Michael Sanchez ended up opting to ride here because on debut he had ridden the 4 My Lucky Valentine. So I just got a little curious as to whether or not, and thought, well, why not 15-1?
Yeah, these races, the 2-year-olds, a lot of them stretching out, getting that first route under their belt. It'll be an interesting run through the opening quarter to 3/8 of a mile. My price horse in here, Venito, interesting. Didn't break the greatest in that big 12-horse field back December 1st. On a day that I thought the outside and some closers might have benefited from that racetrack. This horse made a good move into contention, got bounced around, jostled at the pretty much from the quarter to the 3/16, but did try past mid-stretch. I think this horse has the ability to sit off of it if need be. That race under its belt, Corrales stretching out. You got a sire topside, unified 17% with the dirt routers. 5, 1, 6, and 2. Rap and Send, we've both got in the mix here for Horacio De Paz. I think we both agree. Positive barn change. Blinkers on, a couple tweaks here. Looking at the family, there's some route there. This horse is a half to some very good horses when I dug a little bit deeper. And its most recent race produced a next out winner and a couple other horses that hit the board.
Yes, absolutely. And, I really just think coming down to Maryland, that's a horse who's going to go ahead and appreciate the changing company. Blinkers go on here today. So that's one who I use underneath. I want a little bit of value there. And
with the 3, I like taking the shot there. A horse gets the lead, he could definitely get brave. Third race upcoming, 5.5, 12-5. Non-winners at 2 in life. Man, these are horses that have had a lot of chances to get through this condition. You got 1 for 24, 1 for 21. And look at this. I did not glance at your picks earlier. I'm sorry, but I like to kind of be surprised when I get on the set. And there it is, TikTok Daddy. Let me know what you see, because we might agree on exactly how we see this race shape up.
I'll be perfectly honest. I couldn't believe that this was how we landed. I laughed to myself as well. So, this is one who I think needs to go ahead and translate some of this form back to the dirt, but just really big improves throughout the summer and the fall. The last out going really strong, 5.5 on the turf. Dirt sprinters and the half siblings, the mare took to both surfaces. I feel like this is a horse who what really it's my notes from last time out where this one had just an incredible battle through the stretch.
Yep, you're spot on exactly, Mackenzie, how I kind of see this. I see improving form, albeit, yes, turf, but the dirt form is there within this family. And this horse didn't run awful in its prior dirt races, had some trouble, had to deal with some adversity out of the gate. And then I look at that most recent work up at Delaware. I'm not a big works guy, but if this is anywhere close, it was a bullet work. Only 9 horses worked that day, but out of the gate, it was faster than Captain Quinn, like by almost 2 seconds. And we know that's a pretty good racehorse of Mike Gorham. So maybe the form improved on the dirt will carry over today. Some speed that wants to go, but do they really want to hang on at 5.5 with Galactic Glory, El Divino Nino, Super Bourbon? I think this horse might go stalk, circle, and pounce because we saw this track. You can make that kind of run over this racetrack recently. Win No Joke, certainly going to get a slew of play here for Samurai Singh with Brasino. Steady closes, but 1 for 24. So I think we see this race the same. We want a little bit more value, and we go outside with TikTok Daddy. Anything else you want to add?
No, but this is exactly the race where you can demand a bit more value because Win No Joke certainly deserves to be bet down. I think figures on form perfectly fine, but in here I think you can go ahead and look elsewhere. But, we'll see. Race number 4, where we're hoping you can really find some value with the start of that Rainbow Pick 6. The carryover comes in here with 44.82. We kick things off here in a maiden claiming 45, 2-year-old fillies going the mile. Whew.
This is a scramble. This is definitely a scramble. It's not a real big field. But, again, I mean, Mad for Maddie, you're going to have to take a shorter price on her stretching out. You go 3, 5 o'clock somewhere. We'll get to that one in a second. I'm going to go with the 2, Wacolia Lady, and this is our stat. I don't give out a whole lot of Ferris Allen stats, but we're gonna go ahead and give out a stat for this one for Wacolia Lady. I think we have it. Oh, did I not put a stat in today? You know what? That's bad on me. I thought I typed it in. Well, I'm going to tell you the stat. And Wacolia Lady, Ferris Allen, the last 3 years. 6 for 25, 24%. Maidens, turf to dirt. ROI, 198. I would have liked to seen it a little bit higher. I'm shocked that it's not. Well, there it is.
Christmas
Christmas
early.
came early for Jethro. I love it. There we go. And the 198 ROI. He's 3 for 16 with this move at Laurel. And looking at it, twirling candy topside. They can run on anything. The stamina buildup off the mile and a 16th on the turf is there. This horse is a half to O Dionysus. That's good enough for the stat. Half to O Dionysus. Circle Home. Joy. Some really nice horses. So maybe this is a wake-up call for Wacolia Lady at the 1-turn mile. I do think the road and this race is going to go through Ready for Magic. I liked this one last time at an okay price for Samraj. And this horse made a bit of a menacing move. 5/16 upper just to fizzle. I think her best work will be on the front end today.
I agree. It just needs to be a little bit closer and really get things in reach. I reach for the number 3 and 5 o'clock somewhere. Comes from a dirt routing family that they all kept really good company, and I think brings a little bit more value in here. So you use this one underneath. You clearly see something too, and last time out took an interest. I have a little question as to having that Lasix on last time out, whether that played in, but
it may have, but we'll see. I mean, I think this horse is going to be fine with the Lasix off. That was first time dirt. Probably got to the surface maybe that she preferred. Jump in the buyers. I do think the Charlestown numbers are maybe a little bit inflated. But what I liked was, and Mark Fisher doing our charts up there that night, it was 4 wide the first turn, 3 wide the backside to make a run into the lone speed. That winner was a 1-9 shot. So it was able to control things all the way up front. But you talked about the family. There is route in there. I think this horse is going to appreciate the extra ground today for Susan Cooney.
Absolutely. So that's the one who I think is going to be fun to bet, especially if we can stick somewhere near around 15 to 1. But talk about, the number 6 you bring in here as well, Mad for Maddie, 6 to 5 morning line.
Yeah.
Do you think we get anything better than that?
Well, I tell you, no, I don't think we do. If anything, I think she might be just even a little bit lower. I mean, aggressive, you had to be on the line with Mad for Mad. So I think even money 6 to 5 is about right. just, will the breeding kind of catch up with her at a mile? That was my biggest concern for her. I do think she's going to be forward. I think she's going to have to make a move into Ready for Magic. Will she sustain? So I like your shot here. You're tossing the big price. I have no problems. I mean, the short price you're tossing, I have no problems with that move.
Well, we'll see. I figure that one figures when you see the public really demanding it.
Yeah.
But moving on to race 5, you knock things out in the pick 6 early. Go ahead, get back in with the late pick 5. Really, really nice low takeout. And kicks things off here. The lifetime claiming 45, another filly and mare, 3-year-old and up. Non-owners of 3 or 3-year-olds going 3/4 over on the main track. We aren't too different in our exacta here either, but stick with the colors. Video highlight and your top selection in this race.
Yeah, I was back and forth. Okay, just kind of I keep seeing the way this track's played a little bit. You've got to be kind of real good if you've been on the lead the whole sway. I saw a couple favorites get it done. I think Brittany had a firster on Sunday. But stick with the colors. Did ride the wave of the racetrack here August the 4th. Controlled it through pretty sharp internals. Wasn't asked to upper stretch, hold sway late under steady handling. She's got to break cleanly. Yeah, she was entered, I believe, in an A other than the other day. Trainer scratch goes here. They're going to opt for this, but she cannot miss a beat. She's quick. I do think she's the speed of the speed with an alert break. And if she gets that break pops clear early by a length, I think she can nurse. And if Toledo feels maybe, hey, just let's get off the inside a little bit and play a little cat and mouse, he can do that as well. But I'm going to use her. It's not a love kind of pick, but I'm going to take the shot here. This is first time tag, and this move has been okay for this barn. First time in for a claiming price is stick with the colors. This barn is 5 for 21, 24% with a positive ROI over the last 3 years on the dirt. I think Concrete Phase is real dangerous here, though. I know she might be, looks like she's moving up a little bit. She gets to the 2 in life condition. We're here to the 3 in life for the 3-year-olds, but she ran very well against Open Company on Maryland Million Day, caught very wide, made that big menacing move before kind of getting in and causing a little bit of a jam up at the 3/16. But she fired home very well last time, and things get cluttered up front and clustered. I think this horse is going to make a circling move right into it and be very, very dangerous.
Absolutely. Well, you say cat and mouse with stick with the colors straight out of my notes. That was exactly how I read this. But Concrete Phase, I think, is one who's tough enough, can absolutely play the game right along with her, and she'll be very game for it. She's been on the improve figures-wise across the board. And
Graceful Rose, Mackenzie, I think you can't not leave her out. You got Terrell, but you got Gorham. Gorham's horses are running pretty well here of late. Was against the grain of the racetrack in return, so we're second race off of a little bit of a layoff. You got Torrealba. Key race horses came back to ran well out of that race in New York. She's got good figures over this racetrack. She has experience over the Laurel Park surface. She's another one where I think you'll see Torrealba maybe drop in a little bit, save a little bit more ground around the turn, spy the lead. She can kick on. She's run well at a mile. She can bring a finish, certainly against this group.
She definitely does, and I think she figures in here, so you can't leave her off of any of these tickets as we get through the day. But we will take a break here for a commercial, and then we'll go ahead and pick things up for our Jackpot Super High 5 with race 6. And we're back for race 6, our Jackpot Super High 5 here Friday at Laurel. A lifetime claiming event, $20,000 for the fillies and mares, non-winners of 3 or the 3-year-olds. Going 7/8 here today, and you go ahead and give us another video highlight. Not your top selection in here, though. So, you think that stands out enough, but we're going to see maybe a repeat of some setups we've seen with these guys before.
Again, with the split condition races, that they're very popular here. They help fill, which is good. And when I first look at these kind of races, I'm going to go for the horses, the 3-year-olds that are winning, and they've won 3 or more. And you've got this in Hot Dance. Now, my top selection is a 2-time winner, but Hot Dance, I love the form that she's got recently. She's going to stretch out to 7/8. She's been Pretty busy here for Kieran McGee and Helen Marshall, but she's well positioned from this outer post going 7. She made that early move. That pace last time, she made it into a quicker pace. 22 and 3:45 and 4, was able to hold sway. I don't think things are going to be as tough up front. Got a kind of a stone closer just to the inside of her. She can spy, pop over Gal. I think these two might go ahead and merge from the 3/8 pole in their own little horse race. Gilda's Girl I'm going to use. But Hot Dance, you saw that video. You saw the versatility. She's shown a little bit more early life in her races of note on this main track. So I think she's definitely a player in race 6. I'm going to venture out for a little bit better price in Pop Over Girl and an 8-1. You've got this one in the mix for Ned Allard. You really look at it, her races aren't terrible. She started her career, first 2 races, gets the job done. You know, trouble on the turf, comes back to the main track. Her only real hiccup race when she was caught down inside at Delaware, just maybe wasn't comfortable. I think 7/8, again, could be pushing the limits, but she's into the race early here. I look at some of these races. She's run against some fast horses, Carmelina being one. She can lay close and grind it out here. This is going to be first-time blinkers on the main track as well, so pay attention to that for Ned Allard trying to get this barn back in the win column.
Yes, and she's one who I think you can really go ahead and count on. She maybe lost a little confidence, but comes back in here and is in a really good spot to go ahead and step things up. You also use the number 2, Gilda's Girl. In your exacta, I miss over this one completely, but you're really buying in. She can hang tough in here as well.
Yeah, I think she comes out of some okay races at Parks and Penn. Third off of a lengthy break, and my note here is 5 for 6 in the money at Laurel. 7 furlongs could be a nice fit because she's run well at the mile distance at a 1.116 here. Experience over this track with buyer figures that certainly work. I like that she's going to have a little bit of a target with Shake It Baby, probably going ahead and going early, maybe Lily Lightning to add to that flow. I think she generates a run here for Cody Betty shipping in from Penn National. Now, I did not use Yum Yum Eat It Up. It looks like if you use Hot Dance, you have to use Yum Yum Eat It Up. She's been awfully busy. I'll let you talk about this one for Mario Saray.
Yeah, this is one 3-time winner, just continues to step it up. And I thought 2 back put in a really, really impressive run. So, I go 4-7-9-3, but Keith 7-2-9-3, and maybe a bit of a spread race in here.
I agree with you. I do think this is a spread. Yeah, there's no way you can single anybody in race 6.
Appropriate for that jackpot super high 5, and that brings us into race 7. Starter optional 12-5 fillies and mares 3 and up, going 3/4. Taking a look at similarly aligned in our top selection, but maybe a different way that we see this race playing out. Both land on the number 4, Genie and a Bridle. Maybe some troubled trips, but we think she's going to get the job done in here, and we take a look at this video.
We're going to look at troubled trips between Genie and a Bridle and Proper Attire. Both ran on November the 15th. Let's take a look at Proper Attire in the green and white. Not the greatest beginning. Just absolutely sandwiched. Just Strider 2 out of the gate, bounced around, jostled. Proper Attire, a 12-time winner. She's not protected today. She's in for the tag. But you pick her up here in the green cap. She makes a good move. Kind of brushes a little upper stretch, works between. But in behind her in the purple cap, Genie in a Bridle. Watch this move. We're going out to 6 furlongs today. This was 5.5. And talk about somebody that needed a little extra ground. She just got bottled up, caught in behind a wall of horses, but she finished up well. Genie and a Bridle, I give her a little bit more edge here because I think the pace is going to be contentious. I think it's going to be quick. Proper Attire will make that move into it. She could definitely win it, but I think Genie and Bridle might bring the best sustained run against this group, third off of a long 224-day layoff. I like the fact that they are protecting her again here, second off the claim.
Absolutely. And, so those 2 figures, Royal Seamstress, you use in your exacta. She'll probably have a say early on, but do you think she'll stay on?
I think she can. Tori Alba's on this one, right? I've got the early cut of the PPs. I believe he is riding. Yes. I like that move. He's got a good race, a good second behind Our Liberty Bell, who galloped the other day. So I think Royal Seamstress just wasn't really comfortable down inside chasing last time out. She was in that race on the 15th, just couldn't get on track from the quarter pole home. She'll be able to prompt. I don't know if she's going to win it, but I think she stays a long way. She's going to have to deal with Forgotten Gift. He's definitely, I think, going to go ahead and send. Got a little jockey switcheroo. Fuentes gets off Royal and goes to Forgotten Gift. But that one, along with Sultry Sally H, welcome back Weston Hamilton, got a win the other day. They're the main speed. So Proper Tower, I think, makes the first move. Genie and Bridal hopefully makes the last and the winning move in race 7.
Yes, well, and this carries us into our feature race of the day, race 8, a restricted allowance for Maryland breds or sired, 3 and up, going a mile and a 16th.
Yeah.
And, okay, we both like the 4 in here. You maybe like this one a little bit more on the day than I do. And tell me about Must Be Love.
Well, the 2 sprints of the route and sprint around, you look at it, 25-30% kind of rate here for Ness. Just kind of got off its game early. Bumped around at the break, found himself 10 lengths out of it, going 5.5. This horse has run well, sprint the route in the past. Its only time going long was at a mile at Delaware. It was a 2-turn race. We've got 2 turns here. Was right behind Freedom Road, who just missed in the claiming crown down at Churchill Downs for Ricky Silliman. I think he's faster than Secret Zipper. We're going to find out. I think if he goes, Rodriguez gets aggressive here, I think he can go a long way up top for Rodriguez and Ness. Video Spotlight horse, the 5 in the dance. We can go to that one if we can. In the dance, it's just, man, he's just been steady as she goes. McKenzie, do you think this last race he might have been just a little too close early, which caused that maybe slight, I don't want to call it a fizzle, but just he was game, don't get me wrong, but I think he might be a little bit better off from a little further off of it.
A little further off of it and a little further ground. This is a horse who, going into the far turn, if you watch this, jockey looks under him. I think he's tracking Whiskey in the Jarro, figuring out, and that's right before he goes on and makes the move to press Derbiness a little bit in that effort. So, I think he was weighing his options, and this is a horse who, to me, screams you add a little bit more ground, and you have a really, really competitive shot in here to have a little more favorable pace set up on the day.
Yeah, he's been a busy guy. 17 starts this year. This is going to be 18 starts for In the Dance. I don't like a Hickory. He's 3-year-old, but you kind of call those older horses. That's what he's like. He's like a veteran here, and Rob's done a great job with him. He's maintained very good form, and like I say, maybe X-Men take just a little bit further back. Maybe your top selection gets involved with Must Be Love. What do you like about Secret Zipper?
I went back and forth, lightly raced. I can't knock too much here. It gets to be towards the inside. Might go ahead and have an early say in things. It was able to carry that. I don't usually buy into an off-the-turf event for as much weight.
That's true.
But I just happened to notice that bullet two works back, November 19th, the 35-4 going 3/8. It just kind of drew me in and said, we're going to see the same tactics. If this horse is in good form, I think the numbers stack up. At least give him a target to run down. And
he worries me, especially about my top selection. I hope they don't get in a ding-dong battle through the backstretch run. I'm hoping I can kind of dispose of them and go clear leaving the 3/8. We shall see. That's why they call it gambling. In the dance, yes, Crossland I think certainly works. He's run well turf to a dirt race in the past. I think Cruz will definitely, I know he draws the outer post. He'll work out a trip here and maybe drop inside and make a run. Running River's a little price shot I threw in. Interesting. He's a horse he used to always have all this kind of speed. It looks like they're maybe trying to teach him a new trick or two to come from off the pace. 3-5, little price here for McKenzie in race number 8.
I feel like all of my prices on the day have been the 3s, so let's see if that's lucky. I'll take that over, 13. We'll see at the end of the day. But if you can get through race 8, that brings us into race 9, where we both align on the number 4 in our top selection. Why Not Grace for this maiden claiming 12-5. Back to some 2-year-old fillies going the mile. We'll see what these ladies get into and how they take to the route of ground. Some have some experience at it.
And not a lot of strong form to kind of work through in here in race 9. We see it 4-7, 7-4. Why Not Grace, Trace Area, come out of the same race on November the 28th. I just thought the 4 had a little bit tougher trip. I went back and watched that rerun this morning. Appeared to be in a little bit of a pickle, caught in between horses going towards the far turn, had to steady back, whereas Trace Aries had that good trip early, stalking 3 wide. Did drop inside, work outward, and churn on, but I think Why Not Grace second off of a break, multiple route-winning sibs, second blinkers. I think we got J. Rod here to go ahead and ride. There's some positives, maybe a little bit more positive here for Why Not Grace over the 7 Trace Aries. Missy's Map, we've got the 5 and right. Really nice family of runners. Liquidator and some other ones, primarily sprinting. They jam here. I just think, they thought maybe by Liam's map, we thought we were going to get a little bit more. We haven't, but it could be just go ahead and go because she comes out of the races with some pretty quick internals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a nice setup for them to go ahead and take a step forward. There are a few who I feel like sprinting, they've just been kind of left behind, and they wanted to pack it in a little bit. So this is one where we line up on the 4 and the 7, but I think you could see a big change in form for a few of the other ones in here.
And that would be Missy's map to me, right? Because I think if she is able to go ahead and get clear, you just might see a new dimension, get a little bit more brave on the front end. Risk and regat, we're also going to toss into the mix. Blinkers going on, a little bit of a bladed action. Some trouble out of the gate last time. Cost her maybe a couple lengths, but she's going to need to bring a little bit more through that last 3/8 of a mile.
I maybe like her a little more than you do.
Okay.
I just felt like she was maybe asked a little early, and she might be a bit picky about where she wants to go.
Right.
But she has the benefit of going the mile last time out. So, we'll wrap things up there. And Keith, are you going to go ahead? We'll do a lightning round here.
Yeah,
You
we'll
can
do
give
a
us
little
some
value play and a
best
little
bet, value
best
play.
Bet. What are we going to start with, Mackenzie? Value play. Benito, race 2. So this is not my win selection. I've got Tesh on top, but looking for Corrales at a price. This is a trainer that'll get you some value. I thought the debut was sneaky good against the grain of the racetrack, an early move into a quick pace before being bounced around. Showed a little guts, hung in there to mid-stretch before fading at shorter run into the turn, and that turn of foot is going to aid Benito at a big price.
Yeah, absolutely, and should go ahead and handle getting over a little bit more ground in there today.
Yeah.
Race number 8, you give us another one. You're pretty well set.
Yeah.
Must be love.
Must be love. Ness factor, yes, back winning in bunches. I think this horse is, certainly he's proven sprint to route. He's run some big numbers. You go back and look at some of the other handicapping tools that I use. He's very fast on his best. So if he can come away from the gate cleanly, J-Rod will shake him up. He did that on the turf a couple races back. Get him to the race early. I think he strides out and keeps on going today.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, hopefully plenty of value to be found. We've thrown a few out there. Now we'll throw things up to Dave Rodman for changes, scratches, and we'll be back here for race 1 in just a bit.
All right, good luck, everybody.